Hello everybody, apologies for that slight delay in the starting of class. It didn't look like the Verbling app was working, but it seems to be working fine now, which is great. So welcome. My name's Amy and today's class is all about getting things done. So it's one of those topics that I think applies to everybody. We're going to read a bit of an interesting article from a guy who's got some unusual tips for how you can get more out of your time. So if you're interested in increasing your productivity, which I think probably most of us are, if you have to juggle lots of things in your life, working and family, as well as learning English, it can be tough. And sometimes it's difficult to know what to prioritize, what to leave behind, and how to manage your time. So if that's something that interests you, then do come along and join us. Also, we're going to be practicing our reading today. So that's pronunciation. Also, sort of general reading skills, as well as learning some new vocabulary and also talking about what we read. So it's a bit of everything today. Do come on in and join us. I believe there are some slots free if you'd like to. Before we get started, as always, let me just let you know, to those of you who've just joined Verbling or are new or are maybe watching this on YouTube, if you're interested in attending any of these classes, you can find them on verbling.com. For those of you who are already here, there are several ways that you can get better acquainted with us at Verbling. So have a look at the links that I'm leaving there for you in the chat box. If you're interested in getting in touch via Facebook, then please do go and click follow me, on Facebook. That's my Verbling Teacher Facebook page, where I do upload interesting things I find throughout the week, as well as quite often letting you know about some upcoming classes. If you are interested in finding out more about the Verbling teachers, then you need to visit their Verbling teacher page, which is verbling.com/teachers/teacher's name. And you can see their calendar, you can see their tutoring slots, you can see their experience, you can also write a message. So that's really the best place to go if you want more information. So check out those two links if you have time. As I said before, today's class is a reading and speaking class, and our theme is basically productivity, so getting more out of your time. Okay, so let's say hi. Who do we have to talk about productivity? We have Amari. Hello, Amari. How are you today?
Hello, teacher. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. You? How about you?
Yes, I'm doing great. Thank you too, Amari. What's up today in Mexico? Anything new?
No, nothing. The normal day.
Just a regular old day.
Yes.
All right. Tell me about. We're going to be talking today about productivity. Do you think that you're quite a productive person? Do you use your time wisely, or do you sometimes feel like you waste quite a bit of time?
I think the most time I use it's productive. For example, right now I have a free time, so I prefer to learn English. And when I stay in my job and I got a free time, I prefer to spend my time in a course into that company and to learn about how can I improve my presentations, how can I leading people through changes, something like that, and reading a book. So I think sometimes yes, in my weekends I waste my time.
You waste.
But it's a little time, yes, waste
Yeah.
a little time.
All right. Okay, I'm interested in that question. So it sounds like you're productive. What do you consider to be a waste of time? When you say that you waste time, what do you waste time doing?
For example, when I needed to go in another place or something like that, and I stay in the way, I think I may lost my time or something like that. Or when I am a student studying English and I pay attention in other things in both time. So I don't like to do this. So I think I waste my time.
All right, I understand. So distraction maybe.
Yes. Last week I was in a course in my job about how can get a great concentration in your activities. So I think it's better right now because I am practicing my language body language, body
Body
language.
language, yeah.
Yes, and I think I got more concentration in my English class, in my activities on my job. So I think it's great.
All right, that sounds very cool, Mary. If you wouldn't mind, I'll come back to you in a moment. Would you share a couple of tips with us about how you can concentrate better?
I think, for example, right before in my last class or something like that, or I didn't remember. So I get a bad language body. So my brain
Body language.
understand me. Yes, bad, yeah, bad body
Body
language,
language, yeah.
but yes, body language, but bad, like bad. So I like stay in the bed or like something lazy in the chair on the chair. So right now I am is like stand up my body or something like that, and I got more concentration in my activities.
That's very interesting. Okay, so actually, I think what you're talking about more is like your body posture or position, right? So are you
Yes,
saying,
position. Yes, position. I
yeah.
forgot that.
Okay, that's very interesting. Thanks, Amari. I'm sure that will help. I definitely think that could be helpful if you're trying to concentrate. Is you need to kind of engage your body so that your body's not thinking, oh, it's time for sleep. Well, welcome to the class, Amari. Cool. Let's say hi to Jorge. Hello. Are you there?
Hello, Amy. Can you
Ah,
listen me?
hello. Yes, I can hear you.
Excuse me.
No problem.
How are you
Nice.
doing?
I'm doing great, thank you, Jorge. How are you?
Fine, fine. Still at the office, but it's okay.
Still
I'm
in the
I'm
office.
Discord, so maybe it's okay.
All right. And what is the office? What do you do for your job, Jorge?
I am software developer, so I work in a technology company.
Hmm.
Um, so basically, that is my job. I am in a specific position that is called software architect.
Hmm.
So basically, you lead the software project. That is my job.
Wow, that sounds like you are always in front of a computer.
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah,
that's very
kind
funny.
of.
So maybe this body position thing that Mary was talking about might help you, Jorge, sometimes to like change your body position, right? Otherwise you end up going, "Arr."
It's not just change my body position because for me the most the main waste time activity is meetings. Meetings sucks your time because in some meetings there is no point and you just waste your time and the time go on and, y- and your productivity is terrible in in that kind of activity. So for me, is meetings. Meeting is the best for productivity.
Is the
Is
worst.
the
The
worst for
worst.
productivity.
Yeah.
Not the best. Definitely not.
Um, oh my goodness, Jorge, I could not agree more with you, I swear. And one of the things that I love about my job is that I do not have to have any meetings. Great.
Great.
Um, yeah,
That's what
and
we need.
it is because I actually couldn't agree more with you. It reminds me of a book I've read, and you guys probably have heard of this. Some of you might have read it. It's called The 4 Hour Work Week. And if you haven't read it and you're interested in productivity, then read it. It's not only good for your English, but it's so helpful. And I think that it gives you so many ideas and tips that can help you improve, even if you are an employee and there are some things that you have to do, like meetings. You can get more out of them, more out of your time. So check that out. The author is Tim Ferriss. I'm not exactly sure if there's two R's or two S's, but it's something like that. Jorge, which country are you from?
I'm from Medellin, Colombia.
All right.
Colombia. Yeah. Mhm.
That's very cool. So you're not from the capital, you're from another city, Medellin, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm near another city. Is a good city for me because the weather is really nice, and no matter the season, always is a cool weather.
Mhm.
And sometimes rains, but it's no cold, it's not too cold or it's not too hot. So
Oh,
really, it's a really nice weather.
that sounds totally like paradise.
Kind of.
Yeah, okay. So we're still in the real world, but weather-wise, it's like paradise. All right, well, it's lovely
When
to
you,
meet you all here.
wherever you want, you can come and see you by yourself.
Yay! All right, thanks for here. Good to meet you, and welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Mikkel, how are you?
Hello, Ami. I'm good. What about you?
Good. It's nice to see you again, Mikkel.
The same.
How have you been?
Yes, no bad.
Not bad.
Uh,
What have you
but
been up to?
a lot of change.
All right, how's your work going and your studying? Is everything going well?
Yes, no bad, but it's hard to improve. But I think practice, I suppose.
Yeah. I think when you're learning a language, you have to have a lot of patience, Mikkel.
Yes. But I will go far because I go to England and to do a change in my life and in my career to find a job in England because it's a good place and I think the thing is better in Spain. Well,
Mm.
not bad.
All right. Well, I hope so. I warn you that you're gonna miss the sunshine. But yeah, okay. So there are some advantages at the moment because of the poor Spanish economy. I can agree with that for sure.
Yes. No, but I like England because I travel a lot of time and I like the country. For me, in this moment, it's not bad to do a change.
Hmm.
I think it's you can learn another culture, another another ways to do the things. It's
Yeah.
important to do because always in Spain is is good, but because I think it's I like a lot to live in Spain, but for me it's not bad.
It depends on your perspective and what you want to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. All right. Well, it's good to speak to you, Mikkel. Welcome to the class.
Thank you to say.
Yuki, how are you today?
I mustn't to grumble. How do you, how are you doing? How
I
are you
mustn't
doing?
grumble either. No, no, actually, I'm good,
That's
thank you,
good.
Yuki. Because well, it's not actually Friday; it's Thursday. But still, I'm very happy about that. For some reason, I'm
I,
really
I
looking forward to the weekend.
I think it's still heavy weekly day continues. No,
Yeah.
not knowing why when it will end.
No, that's actually true. And to be honest, I don't know why I get excited about Friday because I actually work on Saturdays as well. But for some reason, Friday still feels good.
Yeah.
Very.
For me, it kind of it looks like a traveler. I looks it sounds like it looks like I'm traveling on the desert by riding on the camel.
You're riding on a camel in the desert, Yuki?
My feeling is kind of
Oh, you feel like you're riding on a camel in the desert. Is it hot?
uh,
Why do you feel like that?
it I feel not good.
Oh,
Heavy in the middle weekday.
oh,
I mean,
on a Wednesday in the middle of the week. Oh, I
yes,
totally understand. I
I'm
know.
sorry.
No problem. All right, Yuki, are you a productive person? Do you say?
No, I
No.
I think I'm not a productive person. I'm I'm unproductive.
Why are you unproductive? What's the problem?
Problem is that problem is that I'm lazy from my birth.
You're so
That's
funny.
why my wife
Why
is
is it
always
you're lazy?
criticize me, saying you are lazy.
All right, but what
Um,
time is it in Russia right now?
it's past 3
In the
in the
morning.
morning.
How can you say you're lazy if you're studying English at 3 in the morning?
I'm not succeed in sleeping
You've got
in the
insomnia.
early time. Yes, it's kind of insomnia maybe.
I'm sorry about that, Yuki. I don't like insomnia myself, but at least you're making the most of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
all right.
all right.
Welcome to the class. We know that we've got a Maori
Yeah.
at this end of the scale. He's extremely productive, and we've got Yuki, who's
Mhm.
self-proclaimed lazy. So, what we're going to try and do is bring Yuki up to a Maori's scale by the end of the class, okay? Just a small goal for today.
Not isolate me, please. Don't isolate me, please.
All right, no problem, Yuki. I'm
I'm
just...
always with you.
All right. So, guys, what we're going to do is read this article. This is kind of cool because this guy is quite innovative in his approach. You can read a lot of productivity stuff and it tells you what to do to save time and everything. But this guy, I feel, brings up some points which other people haven't really thought about, or perhaps it's just me, I've never heard of them before. But we're going to practice our reading together, and we're going to read about this stuff, this guy, and what he thinks we should do, or what he recommends to us, to basically get more done than you thought possible. That's what he says in his title. So, Amari, because you are the most productive of all of us, I'm going to get you to start reading. You can see here that you can actually find out more about this if you want to click on any of those links. But we're going to start with this here, Amari. If you could go when you're ready, please.
Okay, don't worry, just drop the ball. This counterintuitive advice is one of Adam's plus productive practices preached by Scott Hanselman, a program manager at Microsoft, author and avid blogger and speaker. Dropping the ball is sometimes the right answer, Hanselman says. Let a ball drop. Tell people I'm just not going to do that. Handsome's not the person you'd to expect to hear encourage dropping the ball and discourage burning the midnight oil. On top of his day job, he balances a full load. He blogs, records a podcast, engages on Twitter, and attends and speaks at conferences regularly. In the past 6 years, he has co-authored more than a half dozen books, and at home he has a wife and two children. In short, he is one productive individual.
Amari, great reading. Well done.
Thank you.
That was really well read. Anyone have any questions about vocabulary or grammar or phrases in here?
Can you repeat the name Scott Hanselman?
Yes, so Scott Hanselman.
Hanselman. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? No? Alright, I'm going to ask you guys a few questions.
Oh yes, I have a question.
Okay, go
Sorry,
ahead.
teacher. What podcast mean?
Ah, a podcast. Okay, who can tell us what a podcast is?
Podcast. I don't know.
It's a kind of hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a kind of record. it's a kind of record of a specific topic that you can hear. So, for example, there is English podcast, so you can learn English while you are traveling to home or while you're walking to office or whatever. It's like a speech, but just audio, no video.
Thank you. That's a really great description, Jorge. I found myself trying to tell somebody what a podcast was the other day. I actually struggled a little bit because obviously the word pod comes from iPod, right? And
Yes.
a cast is something that's like recorded. So it's sort of programs that you can put onto your MP3 player. If I've just got a definition from the dictionary there for you to add to Jorge's description if you need it, so check out the chat box. But thank you, Jorge. I'm just going to say hello to Ahmed. Hello.
Hey Emmy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you, Ahmed. I was going to say nice to see you. Welcome to the class.
Yeah, thanks, Emmy.
You haven't missed a lot. We've just started reading, so if you have a look at your screen, that's all we've read so far, and our topic today is productivity, okay?
All right.
Alright, so I'm going to ask a couple of questions, guys. What does it mean to burn the midnight oil?
Mm,
This is what Yuki's doing right now.
I think trying doing your best despite of hard time for you. No?
That is a great idea, Yuki, but not right.
No, not that. I'm sorry.
No problem. I'm going to have to explain this because it comes from history, right? I don't know how long, 100 years or so ago, in order to have light during the evening, you needed to use candles or later on an oil lamp, right? So you would have a lamp, which is you put oil and then you burn the oil and then you've got light. So you use it when it's dark, i.e. during the evening. This is where the idiom comes from. If we say that you're burning the midnight oil, it means that you're working past the daylight hours. So you're working through the night, basically.
To me, yeah, I
Yep.
see.
That's what you're doing, right?
What I am doing now.
Exactly.
Yes, I'm now burning the midnight oil.
Yes, you are, Yuki. There you go. That'll be easy for you to remember. Okay, we'll go back to what Scott is talking about. What does he mean when he says drop the ball? This is not an idiom that is sort of common in English. So even for me, I have to think, what does he mean, do you guys?
I think drop a ball means make a mistake. Make a mistake by maybe by your fault. You have a responsibility of some kind of work, but you are failed it doing excellently. That in such a situation.
Yeah, no, that's probably halfway there, Yuki. So yes, it's like a metaphor for a responsibility or a duty. That's correct. So the ball is a metaphor for, I don't know, a task or a responsibility that you have. But it doesn't mean that you fail because you're actually doing it on purpose. You're dropping the ball on purpose. You're letting go of the ball. So what it really means is that you are going to say no or refuse to do something that somebody is expecting you to do. It's basically another way of saying that you're letting go of a responsibility or you're saying no to it.
For example, teacher, in my job, I have a conference in English a lot of time. And I think my coworkers know about the activities, about their roles, more than me because I'm new there. So my boss sometimes talk to me like drop the ball or like you can try, you will be better in the future.
Okay, so that's
Like
similar,
a
Amari.
okay.
So I think what he's really saying is that you know how we all have different responsibilities, we have different tasks in our lives, and sometimes because we're struggling to try and do everything, we end up not being very productive. And what he's basically saying is sometimes you just need to let go of something, just not do it, just take it off your to-do list. And I think that's what he's referring to. We're going to read a little bit more, yeah?
No, I think it's like make a mistake or something like that.
That's what Yuki said. Okay, let's read a little bit more, Mari, and
Okay.
we'll find out a bit more about what he's saying because it is a bit unusual his approach. So Jorge, would you like to take over? Do you have a comment?
Okay. How does he do it? Why does he do it? Sorry, you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. If you're asking yourself those questions, you are not alone. A lot of people say, "Well, Scott, you are doing all this stuff. Why do you do it? Are you not sleeping?" Hanselman says, "It's because I must dance. I can't stop. Whenever I think about stopping, I think about this little boy and how excited he is about doing what he's doing, about doing
Dun,
what he's
dun.
doing."
Okay, there's the picture. We'll keep going.
Okay. It turns out, he continues, the less that you do, the more of it you can do. There is the standard law of the scale.
Thank you.
Continue.
So, we're going to pause for just a moment, Jorge, okay?
Okay.
That was really lovely reading. Anyone got any questions about vocab or grammar? No? All right, now we're going to continue reading. I just wanted to check everyone's following. Okay, Jorge, can you continue with scale yourself, please?
Okay. Scale yourself. In a 40-minute talk, Helsman originally delivered in 2012 and has presented several times. Most recently at the South by Southwest Interactive earlier this month, he shared his productivity practice from his one email rule to his reasoning for reading Robert Scoble's blog, and all his tips are immediately actionable. The productive practice he shares, he says, have been adopted from folks like David Allen, Dr. Steve Covey, and a lot of guys.
Yep, correct. Keep going.
The following recap of his popular talk featuring quotes from October 2012 presentation and go-to conference and his original talk at Webstock early that year.
Thank you. All right, that's beautiful reading, Jorge. Well done. And this is a little bit of an introduction. So this paragraph here is called Scale Yourself. And just before we read that, he gave us what he calls the standard law of scale, which says the less that you do, the more of it that you can do. So I would like to ask you guys, anybody who would like to answer, what does he mean? What is scaling yourself?
Maybe he's talking about delegate, or I am wrong, because maybe the point of that guy is you must allow that other people do a specific task. Maybe that is the point, or I am wrong.
I think that you're very right, Jorge. He doesn't actually mention delegation, but that's a very nice word in English. And also, yeah, absolutely, because that relates to this, right? If you get rid of some tasks, it frees you up. You have more time to do other things. So he doesn't mention delegation, but yeah, it's exactly that idea. Anyone else want to comment? Amari's giving us some stuff in the chat box.
I think that means he want to say that the importance of concentrating on one thing, and and the importance of continuously doing one thing that you really like it to do. So so it enhance the productivity and effectiveness, and that lead to your success.
Absolutely. I think that's totally true, Yuki, as well.
So first question, what does it mean? What the just to drop the ball means? Now I understand. It means continue your favorite thing.
Yes,
Not
absolutely.
stop. Don't stop.
Yeah. So
To
it
do
means
it.
yes, exactly. Well done, Yuki. That was a really great summary. Okay.
So I made a mistake.
No problem. That's the whole point of the class, don't forget. If you guys are all perfect, I don't feel like I've done my job properly, so I appreciate all your mistakes.
Thank you.
All right, let's continue reading. I'm going to ask Mikkel, could you read for Look for Danger Signs?
Sure. Look for danger signs. Staying focused hasn't always been a challenge. There hasn't always been hundreds of pages of new content to consume daily or constant streams of new information interrupting you. Instead, Hanselman said when he wanted to learn programming, he needed to know everything in just 2 books. Then the internet happened, and suddenly there is exabytes of information being created, and half of it is garbage. And a third of my days is wasted by interruptions, he says.
Okay, we'll have a look at the little picture there. Sometimes these pictures are rather helpful. Could you read out what it says on the picture, please, Mikkel?
Yes, danger signs. Missing deadlines, feeling like a failure, family complaints. I just need to work late to catch up. Danger of death by failing.
All right, thank you, Mikkel. Well done, that was a great reading. Let me have a look at a few words that I want to talk about with you quickly. So if you could repeat them, please. This one is focused.
Focused.
Good. So this has got 2 distinct syllables, the same as this word here, pages.
Pages.
Good. This one here has the emphasis on the first syllable, constant.
Constant.
Good. This one here is not garbage, but garbage.
Garbage. No.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Garbage, yep.
Yeah.
And the last one is this word here, which I can't highlight, but it's signs.
Signs.
Great. Thank you, Mikkel. All right, before we discuss it, we're just going to read the rest of this, and I'm going to ask Yuki to read, please.
Okay. I'm completely overwhelmed, and we tell ourselves that we are going to be able to pull it off if we just work late tonight. Stop. This is a dangerous sign. If you find yourself saying, I need to work late to catch up, then that's a problem. That's a big problem, he says, admitting he's guilty of using this phrase himself. That remedy isn't as easy as hoping you'll catch up with your to-do list. Hope is not a plan, Hanselman says. Hope is nothing but waiting and letting life happen to you. So what do you do when you see danger signs? Hanselman has an antidote. But before he unveils it, he sets a record straight on what it means to be effective versus what it means to be efficient.
Thank you, Yuki. That was perfect reading. Really lovely expression as well.
You are flattering.
Well
Thank you.
done. Okay, so we're going to have a look at, if you load this up, guys, in your own window, you can scroll up and down as you wish. What I want to talk about is this idea of danger signs. What does he say is a danger sign, and what does he say about these danger signs? Let's see if Ahmed can tell us something. What is he talking about, Ahmed?
Yes, he's talking about that you can waste your life taking the time of your family and stay work late just to catch up what you're trying to, and this is gonna affect your life. This is gonna make you um, consume your energy, consume your brains, and this is not good for your health and for the sake of the family. So he's just it's a danger sign when you want to keep working late and mess up with your health. Um, yeah, and don't give your family that enough time. So it's wrong. It's a dangerous sign. It's
Yep.
could be something deadly. I mean, physically, and um, whether it's physically or psychologically,
Psychologically.
logically, yes.
Yeah, that's a pretty tricky word, but good choice. All right, that's a very, very good explanation, Ahmed. Well done. Can I ask what your job is, Ahmed?
Me?
Yep.
Yeah, marketing. I work in marketing.
Marketing. Okay. Have you ever been guilty? Have you ever said things like, "Oh, I just need to work late to catch up"?
Actually, I work late every day.
This is the class for you, Ahmed.
It's mere for me.
All right. Have you considered that this is a danger sign before?
Yes, but I'm not married. I'm still single,
Okay.
and yeah, so I don't feel like I feel like I feel so much time, and I can do things. I'm still young and have a lot of energy, and
Mhm.
yeah, sometimes I feel depressed actually because I spend too much time at work. But regardless, I sleep well. So
All right.
yeah.
That's a really good point actually, because it does, oftentimes when you read stuff like productivity, it always says, you need to spend more time with your family and stuff. But if you don't have a family right now, or perhaps you do, but not a what we call a nuclear family, you're not married, you don't have kids yet, same as me, Ahmed. Do you think it's a really good, interesting point? Is it a danger sign still then? Do you think that you sometimes, even though you haven't got a family, perhaps you still spend too much time at work and maybe you should hang out with your friends or relax or do something more often?
Yeah, that's right. But actually, every week I take like 2 days off, like weekend or something. So I feel it's like more refreshing for me, so I can keep moving on. And some guy told me once, if you can do anything in your youth, then you will have nothing left to do when you are older. So I'm just trying to um, uh, get everything I want from life when I'm just in my fullest energy and power.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's really good. I'm glad we've got you here today. That's a great addition to the discussion. I just want to look at one little English point just for a second, since this is an English lesson. What does it mean to pull something off? This is a phrasal verb, and a very useful one.
Accomplish something is to succeed in something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, Ahmed. Okay, so it means to succeed or accomplish something, and it also has that underlying sort of idea that it's difficult to do. So if you do succeed or accomplish it, then it's sort of a big success and a cause for celebration, probably. All right, let's move on to the next point, because he talks about effectiveness and efficiency. Before we talk about them, we've got these two words here. Can somebody give, what do these two words mean before we read? What do we think they mean? What does it mean to be effective? What does it mean to be efficient?
to get a good deal, to realize something.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Thanks, Amari. Any other suggestions?
I think effective is just successful,
Mm-hmm.
and efficient is work well,
Mm-hmm.
just without wasting time.
Okay,
So,
cool.
so it efficient work is might be effective, but not directly. It is not connected. I don't know.
I think that's absolutely what he's about to say, Yuki. You've hit the nail on the head with that. Well done. Let's ask Ahmed to read. Ahmed, could you read this one for us? Understand effectiveness versus efficiency.
Yes. Effectiveness is goal orientation, and this is picking something to do. This is doing right things right. Doing right things, picking a goal and doing that goal. Hanselman says efficiency is doing things in an economical way, process oriented. So, phrased differently, effectiveness is doing the right things, but efficiency is doing things right. That means effectiveness is picking a direction and efficiency is running really fast in that direction, he says. Effectiveness is doing the right thing. Efficiency is doing things right. When you realize those two things are different, it becomes an extremely powerful tool that you can use.
Thank you, Ahmed. That was also very good reading. My goodness. You guys don't need me today. All right. Jorge, what do you think he's talking about here? Can you explain it in your own words? And do you understand the difference between these two concepts?
In fact, it's really hard for me because it's a new is a new concept. For me, that the two words are synonymous,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really interesting the difference that guy is talking about. Mm, is more is the main fact is one is choose the right things, and the other one is go fast in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, is that is really interesting that point.
Absolutely. Do you think that you say, Jorge, that you didn't really sort of realize that there was a difference, and it's not just you,
Yeah.
right? This is like a lot of people, even in native English speakers. um, do you think
Okay.
this might be able to help you in some way, or can you think of a way in which you could use this concept in your life?
Absolutely, yes. In fact, I want to read that book.
Excellent.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting because that kind of stuffs are important for me. In fact, there is another techniques for that kind of stuff or productivity concerns. Uh, a popular one is a technique called Pomodoro.
Aha,
Pomodoro.
yes, I've heard of this. Can you explain it to
Yeah,
us?
yeah, I can share you here. Pomodoro technique is basically split your time in focused goals. So you split your time, so you split your time in 25 minutes. In that time, you must achieve one specific goal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really interesting when you apply that, but it's really hard to do it. But when you try, when you try, and if you really focus on a specific subject, your stuffs is you can uh, do more of your job in a really efficient way. Is really interesting, and in fact, it's really important have a rest. Have a rest every 25 minutes. For me, is the more complicated part
Mm-hmm.
because stop your work every 25 minutes is a kind of difficult, but that is the recommendation. And you must have a big rest every couple of Pomodoros sessions. So basically every 3 hours more or less. So it's really interesting technique, but the main point of that is have specific goals, have a specific to-do list every day, and focusing on each task every Pomodoro is interesting.
Okay, I'm going to have to look that up after this class or after my next one. That sounds really fascinating, Jorge. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Okay, you're welcome.
I just want to ask Mikkel. Mikkel, what do you think? Do you understand the difference between these two concepts that he's just mentioned?
Yes, I think with the description explained here is a lot of things we can add because in two phrases is perfectly defined. Effectiveness is doing the right things and efficient is doing the thing right. Because you, for example, you have a wrong map, you can find the way to want to reach the what do you want. You can try to find the right way to I think it's explained perfectly perfectly because I cannot anything more because it's in two phrases is perfectly defined. It's
Yeah.
doing the right things effectiveness because you don't have you are in the wild and you don't have a map, you can find the way to it's perfectly explained. I think it's clearly defined.
All right, I agree with you, Mikkel. It's a really those two phrases are worth putting somewhere right in front of you.
Yes.
Choose what you're going to do, then you can do it successfully. Then you're going to make a lot of progress. Okay, let's read about defined work. So, Mari, it's back to you.
Yes, teacher. Could you repeat that question?
I just would like you to read, please.
Okay, sorry. Define work with effectiveness in mind. Hansom stressed the importance of understanding Dave Allen's threefold nature of work, which is predefined work, work you've set up ahead of time, work as it appears, work that interrupts you. Defining work. You sit down and think about what work you need to be doing. More time needs to be spent on the last bullet point, Hansel says. How often have you actually put on your calendar an hour of time to say, I'm going to sit down and think about what work I need to be doing? He says, no, we panic and we look at our to-do list and we short it. Then we just kind of freak out for a while and then the to-do list gets larger.
Larger.
Thank you.
Last sentence, can you see it?
Okay. Instead of this, how I don't know,
Haphazard.
Hazard. Okay. Approach. Take time to define your work. Allen says it will take an average of 1 hour per day for the typical professional.
Excellent. Thank you, Mary. Does anyone have any questions about that section? All right, I think this is a very interesting idea. Who am I going to ask? I'm going to ask Yuki. Yuki, what's your job? You're a teacher, aren't you? Or...
Yes, I am teaching Japanese to Russian students, and I work as a translator. Russian, Japanese.
All right, so basically I'm imagining, because this sounds like exactly what I do, but with different languages, you have
Yes.
to sort out your own timetable, right?
Yes. Um, I'm yes. Now I work. Now I am my own boss, so I have to always aware of increasing productivity for
Mm-hmm.
my work,
Yeah, for sure.
especially
And
especially when I translate for my work. There
yes.
is a deadline. So
Mm-hmm.
what is written here, I understand well. It's very useful advice for me.
Yeah, me too, I have to say, Yuki, for the
Yes.
exact same reasons. Have you done this before? Do you sometimes set aside an hour and sit down and figure out what you're going to do?
Y- Yes. Um, mm, yes, that's right. Yes. Um, so, uh, sorry, I couldn't follow you. Sorry.
No problem. I probably
Mm.
didn't define the question really, but
Yes.
you mentioned that this is like an important thing about
Yes.
being self-employed, but do you actually do it?
You
Do
sit
you?
down and think about what work you need to
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Yes, defining work with, I think first thing we have to do, uh, because without aim, it is very difficult to get to there.
Hmm.
So estimating amount of work and what is your aim, and think about what
Yeah.
work you need to doing.
Hmm.
It would be good. It would be good if it connected to your favorite thing.
Yes,
Maybe maybe you don't feel time is passing if you are doing your favorite job. So,
that's
but
actually true.
if
Hmm.
it is not, it's kind of challenging task.
Definitely.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Yuki. I just want to ask somebody who's not self-employed, so maybe Jorge. Are you self-employed, Jorge, or do you work for a company? I can't remember.
No, yeah, I work for a technology company.
That's right. So tell us, do you think this would benefit you at all, this idea?
Excuse me, could you repeat me the question, please?
Yes, sure. Do you think what we've just read about defining work and spending some time actually sitting down and thinking about what you need to do, does this
Yeah.
apply to you in your job?
um, the more similar of that activity that I do is set my to-do list. When I set my to-do list and I prioritize it, uh, it's more easy to get the job done.
Hmm.
Uh, but mm, sit down and think and have a coffee and think about what what work is. And nope, definitely no.
Well, it's very honest of you, Jorge. It's interesting to see different perspectives. Let's ask Ahmed. Ahmed, what about you? You work late at night and you work for a company. What do you think about this point? Is it helpful for you?
Hi. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, actually, it suits me. Otherwise, I wouldn't change it. Um, yeah, it does work. Um, Actually, I've been doing this for a long time, so I don't feel like any pressure. And all the work I do doesn't need a lot of thinking and worrying about. I'm good at what I'm doing, and it feels uh, like it's very easy. So I don't feel like kind of much pressure on my mind. Um, yeah.
All right. Well, guys, yes, thank you. Ahmed, what else were you going to say? Keep going if you have more ideas.
No, actually not. Go ahead.
That's okay. Um, what I was going to say is that this actually is quite a good article to carry on reading. So I know that we will have to finish the class in just a moment, but if you just scroll down, It's nicely described and nicely explained, so if you have time and you're finding it useful, I'd recommend that you read the rest of it at some point, because he's got some really good ideas, and the thing that I like most, I suppose, about it is exactly what Miguel said. He manages to very, very clearly define his ideas, so he's got these little kind of, I don't know, bite-sized things that you can remember that maybe will help. It's not big chunks of boring information. So maybe you can put some post-it notes on your desk, or get some valuable stuff out of this to help you prioritize your time, get more out of yourself, by doing some maybe things that you wouldn't have thought of doing before. But well done, everybody, for some really good reading today. I'm really surprised at how well you've done. Really good speaking as well. If you would like to practice some writing, then you can come along to my class in a couple of minutes. We're going to be writing using Pinterest as our inspiration. But if you're not up for doing any writing today, I understand. But I do hope to see you all again at some point soon. So take care and have a really great evening, day, or night if you're Yuki.
Thank you for the class.
Thank you.
It's useful for not only for our improving English, but also for better life and increasing productivity. I hope so.
I'm glad to hear that, Yuki. That was my hope, so I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you. All right, take care, guys. See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Hope to
teacher.
see
Thank you.
soon. Take care.
Yes, and I think I got more concentration in my English class, in my activities on my job. So I think it's great.
All right, that sounds very cool, Mary. If you wouldn't mind, I'll come back to you in a moment. Would you share a couple of tips with us about how you can concentrate better?
I think, for example, before in my last class or something like that, or I didn't remember. So I get a bad language body. So my brain understand me. Yes, bad. Yeah, body language.
Yeah.
but yes, body language, but bad, like bad. So I like stay in the bed, or like something lazy in the chair, on the chair. So right now I am like stand up my body or something like that, and I got more concentration in my activities.
That's very interesting. Okay, so actually I think what you're talking about more is like your body posture or position, right? So
Yes, position. Yes, position.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Okay, that's very interesting. Thanks, Amari. I'm sure that will help. I definitely think that could be helpful if you're trying to concentrate. You need to kind of engage your body so that your body's not thinking, oh, it's time for sleep. Well, welcome to the class, Amari. Follow me, on Facebook. That's my Verbling Teacher Facebook page, where I do upload interesting things I find throughout the week, as well as quite often letting you know about some upcoming classes. If you are interested in finding out more about the Verbling teachers, then you need to visit their Verbling teacher page, which is verbling.com/teachers/teacher's name. And you can see their calendar, you can see their tutoring slots, you can see their experience, you can also write a message. So that's really the best place to go if you want more information. So check out those two links if you have time. As I said before, today's class is a reading and speaking class, and our theme is basically productivity, so getting more out of your time. Okay, so let's say hi. Who do we have to talk about productivity? We have Amari. Hello, Amari. How are you today?
Hello, teacher. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. You? How about you?
Yes, I'm doing great. Thank you too, Amari. What's up today in Mexico? Anything new?
No, nothing. The normal day.
Just a regular old day.
Yes.
All right. Tell me about. We're going to be talking today about productivity. Do you think that you're quite a productive person? Do you like use your time wisely, or do you sometimes feel like you waste quite a bit of time?
I think the most time I use it's productive. For example, right now I have a free time, so I prefer to learn English. And when I stay in my job and I got free time, I get a free time. I prefer to spend my time in a course into that company and to learn about how can I improve my presentations, how can I leading people through changes, something like that, and reading a book. So I think sometimes yes, in my weekends I waste my time,
You waste
but it's a little time. Yes, waste
Yeah.
a little time.
All right. Okay. I'm interested in that question. So it sounds like you're productive. What do you consider to be a waste of time? When you say that you waste time, what do you waste time doing?
For example, when I needed to go in another place or something like that, and I stay in the way, I think I may lost my time or something like that. Or when I am a student studying English and I pay attention in other things in both time. So I don't like to do this. So I think I waste my time.
All right. I understand. So distraction maybe.
Yes. Last week I was in a course in my job about how can get a great concentration in your activities. So I think it's better right now because I am practicing my language, body language, body
Body
language.
language. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Apologies for that slight delay in the starting of class. It didn't look like the Verbling app was working, but it seems to be working fine now, which is great. So welcome. My name's Amy, and today's class is all about getting things done. So it's one of those topics that I think applies to everybody. We're going to read a bit of an interesting article from a guy who's got some unusual tips for how you can get more out of your time. So if you're interested in increasing your productivity, which I think probably most of us are, if you have to juggle lots of things in your life, working and family, as well as learning English, it can be tough. And sometimes it's difficult to know what to prioritize, what to leave behind, and how to manage your time. So if that's something that interests you, then do come along and join us. Also, we're going to be practicing our reading today. So that's pronunciation. Also, sort of general reading skills, as well as learning some new vocabulary, and also talking about what we read. So it's a bit of everything today. Do come on in and join us. I believe there are some slots free if you'd like to. Before we get started, as always, let me just let you know, to those of you who've just joined Verbling or are new, or are maybe watching this on YouTube, if you're interested in attending any of these classes, you can find them on verbling.com. For those of you who are already here, there are several ways that you can get better acquainted with us at Verbling. So have a look at the links that I'm leaving there for you in the chat box. If you're interested in getting in touch via Facebook, then please do attend and go and click a cool. Let's say hi to Jorge. Hello. Are you there?
Hello, Amy.
Ah,
Can you listen me?
hello. Yes, I can hear you.
Excuse me.
No problem.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you, Jorge. How are you?
Fine, fine. Still at the office, but it's okay. I'm
Still in the office.
I'm Discord, so maybe it's okay.
All right. And what is the office? What do you do for your job, Jorge?
I am software developer, so I work in a technology company. Um, so basically, that is my job. I am in a specific position that is called software architect. So basically, you lead the software project. That is my job.
Wow, that sounds like you are always in front of a computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
that's very
kind
funny.
of.
So maybe this body position thing that Amari was talking about might help you, Jorge. Sometimes to like change your body position, right? Otherwise you end up going.
It's not just change my body position because for me the most the main waste time activity is meetings. Meeting sucks your time because in